Hello, friends. I want to share with you just a brief thought that comes actually from my study of section 105 this last week, but that I think at least helps me make sense of what the Lord is doing in the upcoming sections and gives us a little bit of guidance in our ongoing effort to continually gather more youth to Christ through seminary. So first, section 105, verses 4 and 5, you remember this is as the Lord is explaining to the saints why they lost Zion, Jackson County, independence, and how to reclaim it. He says in verse 4 that the saints are not united according to the union required by the law of the celestial kingdom. And then he explains Zion cannot be built up unless it is by the principles of the law of the celestial kingdom. Otherwise, I cannot receive her unto myself. In other words, this law upon which Zion has to be built, at least in part, commands that we are unified. You remember Moses chapter 6 and 7 when Enoch is the prophet trying to get this people ready to be taken up by the Lord, and they have to be of one heart and one mind and dwell in righteousness and have no poor among them. As I was pondering this, I came across this video. How do you create Zion? Sometimes it seems like a really overwhelming thing to do, that we have to somehow create a society that has this kind of incredible unity and charity binding us all together. And then I saw this. This is called starling murmuration, and I am not a nature expert, so I've read a little bit, and what scientists have discovered is these are starlings, thousands and thousands of birds that look like they're responding to some kind of overarching design, some kind of coordinated effort to have this kind of unity. And what scientists have found is that far from that, what it actually is each individual bird just pays attention to about 5 to 7 birds immediately around it and responds to those birds. They often pay attention to the bird that's right in front of them, the birds that are on the sides of them, and then the bird that's right behind them. And if they can do that, just focus on their immediate surroundings, then they can have this kind of beautiful unity. Well, as I look ahead at what we've got coming up in the next couple of sections, we have section 107, which will be our kind of hallmark section this next week, which is all about the Melchizedek priesthood. And if we're not careful, this could become just a section about offices and duties of the Melchizedek priesthood. But what it really is an outline from the Lord of those that have been called to lead and direct us. The birds right out in front of us. And so there's a great opportunity here to talk about, especially with General Conference on the near horizon, to talk about those that we, as it says in verse 22, that we should uphold with our confidence, our faith, and our prayers. Then, even though we don't have a lesson on section 108, section 108 has one of my favorite church history people in it, Lyman Sherman. Lyman is called to be one of the first presidents of the Quorum of the 70 that goes out to share the gospel, and is actually called to be an apostle, but before he can receive word of his calling, passes away in far west. And I love the revelation given to Brother Sherman. So much in here, but one of the things is in verse 7, therefore, strengthen your brethren in all your conversation, in all your prayers, in all your exhortations, and in all your doings. So there's someone being commanded to strengthen those on the side. As we study this week and in the upcoming weeks, especially as we prepare for General Conference, let's help our students see that Zion isn't some massive project. It's actually something really small and intimate. It's us focusing on the bird or birds that are right in front of us, and then paying attention to and being in sync with those that are right to the side of us. Now, a couple of things that we can do as teachers to act on that. Number one, coming up this Thursday is our first Zoom faculty meeting. There's a session at 8:30 a.m. and a session at 8:30 p.m. This is for all seminary teachers. It's a chance for us to gather together. We will look ahead at what's coming up this upcoming month in the Doctrine and Covenants. We'll share some best practices of how to get students engaged and just enjoy being together. Then in that meeting, I'm going to ask you this question. You've seen and heard this hopefully enough times that it's becoming annoying. But if Zion is built by just focusing on 5 to 7 people around us, what I want to invite you to do is to have a focus 5. That is, 5 students that you are going to pay a special attention to, a specific focus to. And I want to invite you to have one of those youth in your focus 5 to be a youth that is not currently in seminary. These 5 youth you can pray about, you can uphold with your confidence and with your faith, with your ministry, and strengthen and exhort them. And so start thinking now, who would be your focus 5? And when we meet together next Thursday, I'm going to have some invitations for all of us as we think about who our focus 5 are. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for all that you are doing. I really look forward to seeing you this Thursday. Take care, and we'll see you then.